Hey guys, welcome to another episode of After Credits. He is the host with the most. He is the man that never has a plan, Daniel. And I am the HK champion right now. I am Barnyard. If you don't know why I have this such prestigious title right now, please click on the video down below and see why.
That's SummerSlam Habanero, though.
Hey man, how you feeling? He's not here right now. He's still in the hospital.
He's been leaking out of his asshole ever since.
Yeah.
Poor bastard.
Just got out of the movie Hands of Stone. A movie that follows the life of Roberto Duran, the Panamanian.
Pananonymous? What the fuck?
How do you say,
Panamanian.
Panamanian. Wow, that sounds fucking lame. A Panamanian boxer who grew up on the streets, who learned to fight on the streets, and who now is hungry and wants to beat the fucking world to a pulp.
Pretty much. Wow. There's so much blind anger in this guy, and he hides that sort of insecurity between like this layer of machismo.
Oh, yeah.
And Roberto Duran is played by Edgar Ramirez. Some of y'all might remember him as the dude from Deliver Us from Evil. He gets the attention of Ray Arcel, played by Robert De Niro, who's regarded as one of the greatest trainer of all time. By the time that he meets Roberto, Arcel has trained over 18 guys to be the world champs. He sees this raw talent that, if given the opportunity, he'd be able to morph into a respectable, powerful fighter. The entire movie is about them dealing with each other and going through the typical boxing story. But this is not a typical boxing story because this movie is edited by a fucking madman.
In the opening scene, it shows Roberto after he just won a fight. His trainer's there and the man who promotes him, Carlos, right?
Yeah, Carlos Celata.
His trainer comes up and he's like, "Hey Cholo, there's an American that wants to speak to you." And it's like, "Nah man, I'm good. I thought this is the biggest man in boxing history, he can make you a world champ like that." He's like, "Nah man, I don't want no help from an American." And then Ray was like, "All right man, well good luck." And he walks out. The next 20 fucking minutes of the movie is a literal backstory about Roberto and how he saw the oppression of the Americans on Panama during the Panama Canal crisis.
You're fucking cool. He
would grow up on the streets. He would steal food to feed his single mother and his 3 siblings. He was fighting kids in the streets from, change. Roberto was arrested as like a 10-year-old kid for, taking money for fighting. His future trainer bails him out of the jail with the one stipulation: you follow my rules, and if you act up, I'm taking you back to jail myself. It shows him fighting, training, and stuff like that until he's his age right now. And then it cuts back out of the backstory. It shows Ray training with Roberto. And we were like, huh?
Where the fuck did it come from?
As we go further than that, besides that little spoiler, we're issuing a spoiler alert. If you don't want anything spoiled for you in this movie, please press the time code down below on the HK World Championship, the most prestigious title in the world. Fuck you, Floyd.
Carry that shit. Carry that shit. Hey, McGregor! Come get this, bitch! The first scene with Ray, backstory, Ray, is just one of the many examples of scenes coming out of nowhere, no explanations for really big plot points. There's one point in this movie where we've been going for an hour, and then suddenly Ray's wife gets a call in the middle of the night saying there's a guy named Ray Arcel and his heroin addicted daughter just suffered an overdose. We're the same way as his wife. We find out that he in his first marriage adopted this girl, and whenever the wife died he wasn't able to keep her, so he sent this girl off away. He has an adopted daughter addicted to heroin, and this movie treats it like this big emotional plot point, but it comes straight the fuck out of nowhere. There's a scene where Roberto meets his father as an adult for the very first time, and the only preface we've ever gotten for this is a line that Ray says as a narrator, where he says that his father abandoned him when he was 4 14. It's a 2-second line, but suddenly it's just jammed in the middle of this movie. Here's the thing. None of these scenes are bad. It's not the content that's the problem, but the arrangement. That's really my only real issue with this, is the arrangement of these scenes. Roberto's first fights with Ray in Panama, we get like one scene with Roberto, and then suddenly Ray's back in New York. And I'm like, when the fuck did that happen?
Yeah.
It's not like this scene took place a couple hours later. It's right there. It's just focused on Roberto. And then suddenly we're in New York. Also, this movie is so fast.
Oh, yeah.
With the fight scenes, with just scenes in general, moving from position to position, montages, there's so much information that's thrown at you. I felt like the movie was over at an hour. And we had another 45 minutes to go. I'm like, what the hell else are they gonna put in this?
Yeah, dude, you know, after the fight with Sugar Ray, you know,
Played by Usher.
Played by Usher, by the way. I legitimately looked up this running time of this movie, and it was like, this fucking movie has another 45 minutes. What the fuck are we gonna see?
What have we been doing this entire time? And I never thought I'd say this, but the fact that this movie follows that cliche boxing formula, you know, go from the bottom to the top, and then you lose your way, and then you come back again, that was helping me out. Because whenever I was completely lost, I could go back to that structure and be like, okay, this is where we are.
This movie kind of has the structure of Rocky 2 and Rocky 3.
The first half of this movie is Rocky 2.
Yeah.
Because it's not like Roberto starts directly from the bottom. By the time we see him as a boxer, he's already been really, really good in Panama. He's just making his way to the World Championship. So that's Rocky 2. But then Rocky 3... you have him switch parts. It's as if Roberto is Clubber Lang and Sugar Ray is Rocky. And the way that movie goes is fascinating, and it's also really frustrating. Because Edgar Ramirez is great at playing a douchebag.
Oh, dude.
Oh my god, this dude is such a fucking asshole. I wanted Usher to just beat the shit out of him, just to teach him a fucking lesson.
Yeah.
The very first moment he sees Sugar Ray and his wife, he's calling the man's wife a whore. He's calling him a clown, a fucking pussy. It's offensive, it's insulting. And you sit there just going, what the fuck are you doing? Robert De Niro's one tone throughout the entire movie is, come the fuck on. What are you doing? Like, punch him to the body. What are you doing? Don't call the man's wife a whore. You set the rematch for 3 months and he's gained 40 pounds. Let him have a life.
He's always on the defense.
Exactly. You see him at the beginning with like a little bit of hair. By the end, it's like down to fucking here, man.
Dude, he lost.
God, you feel so bad for Robert De Niro, but hey, legendary actor gives another great performance.
I love how whenever Roberto was trying to, him calling Sugar Ray's wife a whore, and you know, oh, I'm gonna fuck her after I fuck you in the ring.
Damn.
And he was like, you don't say shit like that. He was like, do you know what it is to be, do you know what it's like to be hungry? Do you know what it's like to be hungry, you know, eating out of trash cans in the streets? It's like, that doesn't matter. You can be hungry, but you don't call a man's wife a whore.
I thought that was really nice, was this movie is sometimes framed as everything Duran does, he's doing for the glory of his city, his country. He's doing this because damn these dirty Americans. And Robert De Niro slaps some sense into him. I'm like, what the fuck did his wife do to you? His wife didn't do shit. She said hi. I feel bad because I forgot this in the War Dogs review. We were talking about Miles Teller's girlfriend. Here, she's played by Ana de Armas. And here she plays Roberto Duran's wife named Felicidad, which stands for happiness in English. I thought she did a good performance there. Like a really good performance.
I didn't realize that was her name till like after the credits. I was like, her name really was Happiness.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, cool.
She came from a rich family, and she's fighting. She's kind of conflicted with Duran because he comes from the streets. You know, it's like Jasmine and Aladdin, but set in Panama. She's sexy. She's vulnerable. She's tough as nails when she needs to be.
That actress is just fucking hot. I want to see her in more
Good
shit.
God. That actress is really good.
She's really good, and she's really good looking. That's a fucking double whammy.
Props to De Armas. She's a good up-and-coming actress. And she's getting these pretty decent sized movies. I'm hoping she gets more clout from this. There's not too much to say about the plot, other than it's your basic boxing story. I think the only real thing this does differently is that it brings to light the atmosphere of the time in Panama. Like, this character is connected to his country and the events that are happening. You know, the presidencies of Carter and Reagan, where Carter, you know, signed the treaty with the Panamanian president to give that canal back, and then later the territory will be up for, I think, debate in 20 years. But then Reagan, with his strong interventionist stand on foreign policy, takes that back. And it's threaded, not neatly, but it is threaded with the rise and fall of Duran's career. I thought it was a nice touch. It's as if Rocky were set during fascist Mussolini times. You clicked on timecode, welcome back. We've been chatting for a bit about Hands of Stone, and we're gonna give now our final thoughts and our scores out of 6 stars. So, Champ, take it away.
It was a good film. You know, editing was a bit shoddy with the way it took you from one scene and emotion to a different one, just out of fucking nowhere. I loved De Niro's performance. I loved, what was it, Ramirez?
Edgar Ramirez.
Edgar Ramirez. He was really good. He played a really good douchebag. I hope to see him in more shit. I hope to see, what was her name?
Ana de Armas.
Ana de Armas. I want to see her in more stuff as well. She's...
Pendejo gringo.
I don't know what that means, because I'm a filthy American. English number 1, bitch.
I really liked Usher in this movie.
Usher wasn't bad. He wasn't in a lot of scenes. He was in maybe, what, 10 minutes of screen time, if that?
Maybe like 15.
No, I don't know. No, not definitely not 15.
I think it's 15.
No, don't care to see him in more stuff, you know. He's Usher.
He's everywhere.
He's everywhere.
He's going to be more stuff whether you like it or not.
Solid performances, good story, editing was a bit shit. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 4.5.
The editing affected me a lot more than I think it did you, because there were scenes where it was just jarring. It was really bothering me, and it was giving me a headache. It was really getting in the way of these strong performances, and I think with the Duran's character connecting to the political atmosphere of Panama, I thought that was a unique angle for a boxing movie to take. I think if you watch this at home, you'll be a little better off. I think if you can maybe take a couple breaks, if you get a chance to have a snack, I think you'll have a good time with it. So I won't go negative, I'll go 3.5.
3.5?
Like, this is okay. I don't recommend going to see this in the theaters. I think you might get the headache like I did. Definitely a rental though, really solid rental. As something I saw in trailers and thought, oh wow, the Mexican Creed, fuck. No, really worth its time, and I think, you know, solid watch, man.
So what the deal with this championship is, we're going to try to make it every single WWE pay-per-view now. We're going to sit and watch it, do our predictions on who's going to win the matches, maybe a couple days in advance so we can get it up before the actual pay-per-view. And then whoever wins, has the best winning percentage, wins the championship. I obviously won the championship in the first night, and I made it.
But you know that because you clicked on that video at the beginning of this video and came back.
The ultimate loser will have to do a punishment. We'll try to have different punishments every other week. You know, I got a few ideas in my head. With that, if you liked our video, please press the like button down below. If you had something to say, if you thought we were completely wrong or completely right about this film, please comment down below. We respond to almost anybody if you want to get in touch with us.
Yep.
And if you haven't already, please press that subscribe button. We have 66 subscribers right now. We're hoping to reach 100 soon. Yeah. That'd be awesome. If you haven't already, please follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and now follow us on Instagram as well.
What? We have an Instagram?
I'm here at HalfKocked. I'm Barnyard, the HK World Champion. That is Daniel, the man that never has a plan.
We'll be back with... What movies are coming out next week? We have The Light Between Oceans. It's this drama with Alicia Vikander from Jason Bourne and Ex Machina, and Michael Fassbender, Magneto. And honestly, I'm not sure in this one whether Magneto will die or not. So,
some say here's a nice cock. Quote Sony.
Is that a thing?
Sony said in the leaked, when they got hacked.
What?
There was an email saying that how Michael Fassbender had a nice penis. Had a very nice large penis. I'm dead serious. Look it up.
All right. Whether Magneto dies or not, at least you know in that movie he'll have a really nice cock. Take care, you guys. Good night.